Let's go now to Republican pollster Frank Luntz and his focus group.
This was a great evening for voters because it helped them make up their minds. And no place matters more right now than Las Vegas, Nevada, one of the most important swing states in the country. I want you to yell out for the people at home. Which candidate's performance tonight had the biggest impact on your vote? 3, 2, 1. Hillary. And it was a tie. And that was different than the other debates that we had. But I want to illustrate this. I want a word or phrase to describe Donald Trump's performance tonight.
Improved.
Struggled.
Blowhard.
Inadequate.
Passionate.
P.T. Barnum.
Repetitive.
Rude.
I want to flip it. Word or phrase to describe Hillary Clinton tonight.
Presidential.
Competent.
Snooze fest.
Criminal actress.
More believable.
Politician.
Not particularly good for either candidate. This is not the evaluation I would want from my teacher. In the break, you said something that I thought was very interesting and very emotional, and I wonder if you would repeat it, about how you feel about the candidates who've been running for office and what they've promised and what you think of them now.
All candidates have promised the African American and the Latino community changes, and nobody has done that. Nobody has changed anything. So when I go to vote, I'm going to vote for the less of the two evils, the menopausal one, because that's where I'm leaning towards. Nobody has done anything for my culture since '73, since I've been born. I ain't seen no changes.
How many of you feel forgotten by Washington? Literally, like your voice doesn't matter. Raise your forgotten. So that's well more than half of you. What have they forgotten? What don't they hear?
I don't think that the average American has any type of voice anymore about pretty much anything, about our economy, about our health care, about, anything like that.
You feel forgotten?
No, I don't. I don't really feel forgotten, but I do. I was made clear a little bit better tonight that the middle class will not be forgotten, and I hope they keep their promise, whoever does get in.
In the back.
I always laugh when I hear a politician talk about 30-year persons and entitlements. People that have been in Congress for half their lives.
Do you feel forgotten?
Yeah.
Do they hear you?
They don't, but I hear my lady friend down here. Thank you, sweetheart.
Wow, he called you sweetheart. Maybe there's a budding relationship in here. I want to play for you 2 clips. The first clip is Hillary Clinton at her best, and it was at the very beginning of the debate when she talked about social issues, the Supreme Court, and abortion. It was her best moment of the evening. Let's take a look.
That is not the way our democracy works. We've been around for 240 years. We've had free and fair elections. We've accepted the outcomes when we may not have liked them. And that is what must be expected of anyone standing on a debate stage during a general election. President Obama said the other day, when you're whining before the game is even finished, it just shows you're not up to doing the job.
The problem is you talk, but you don't get anything done, Hillary. You don't. Just like when you ran the State Department, $6 billion was missing. How do you miss $6 billion? You ran the State Department. $6 billion was either stolen, they don't know. It's gone. $6 billion. If you become president, this country is going to be in some mess, believe me.
So let me ask you. It was not quite the clip that I wanted to play. She talked about accepting the election results. He then turns it around on her, and she says that the country will be a mess if she's elected president. Did they show the temperament that you were looking for in a presidential candidate in the next president? She does. Why she does and he doesn't?
She's so much more polished than him. She's been doing this for 30 years. I don't trust her, but she is very polished, and she has a good temperament for a politician.
Yeah, I feel like she talks a great game. She really knows what she's doing, and she says things that I want to like it so much, but I just feel like she's lying to me half the time.
Temperament in the back.
I like Hillary Clinton a lot, but I think she uses the woman card too much.
and that's where she gets all the sympathy from.
So now I want to show you the Donald Trump clip where he talked about holding Clinton accountable for her time at the State Department and specifically $6 billion that were lost. Let's play that clip and let's see why they reacted as favorably as they did.
The problem is you talk, but you don't get anything done, Hillary. You don't. Just like when you ran the State Department, $6 billion was missing. How do you miss $6 billion? You ran the State Department. $6 billion was either stolen, they don't know. It's gone. $6 billion. If you become president, this country is going to be in some mess, believe me.
So let me ask you this. $6 billion, is that a significant number for you?
$6 billion is a huge amount. There should be accountability. One of the problems with Washington, there's very little accountability. We're the taxpayers. We ought to know. There ought to be an open book. We ought to know where this money is being spent.
So is that why the clip did so well for you all, that it talked about accountability?
And even beyond the $6 billion, there was an ambassador killed. There's only been 5 in modern times. There's only been 1 that asked for additional security.
My ancestor was one of the founders that wrote the 4 important documents to start our country. I think everybody forgets that in the document it says it's not only our right, but our responsibility to question our government.
And that's why the clip did so well.
And we need to know, like, if there's money missing, you know, what's going on? It's our ambassador and our military are getting killed. What's going on?
It's a good, solid point and topic that he can go after her for her executive skills. It's a time when she's been in government that he can really point out and kind of attack her on it. If he spent the whole election with those kinds of points instead of jumping into the 9-month abortion, sidetrack, he would have been winning by now.
Yeah, and it just plays right into, you can't trust Hillary Clinton because most everything that comes out of her mouth apparently is untruthful. And if she is truthful, you don't know what it is.
How many of you have a basic positive opinion of both Trump and Clinton? Raise your hands. Overall positive of both. 1, 2, 3. How many of you have a negative opinion of both? Raise your hands. Just about everyone. So how does that make you feel that you dislike both candidates?
It's very difficult for me because I'm picking the lesser of 2 evils, which I think Hillary Clinton is. I want to pick Donald Trump so badly, it's ridiculous, but I just don't feel like I can because I think he's crazy.
You don't like both candidates. How do you deal with that?
Well, I was a diehard Bernie Sanders supporter. I had his sign in my yard forever, and then I was kind of flipping over to Jill Stein, and my sample ballot came in the mail, and there was no Jill Stein on it, so now I'm stuck with one of these loser candidates.
Loser
so I'm
candidates.
just kind of like, which is the worst?
See, he's called them both loser, which means that no matter who wins, he gets audited by the IRS. Kevin.
I've always judged a person by their actions as opposed to their words. And while Trump has said some real stupid, vile things, Hillary has done a lot of real stupid things. I just can't get behind anything that she says or does.
And for me, the bottom line is policy. I may not like either one of them, but who has the better policies? Who's going to move our country forward? That's what matters to me.
Final question. Does this election make you feel more optimistic about the future of America or more pessimistic? Raise your hands if you say optimistic. 3, 4, 5. Raise your hands if you say pessimistic. This is what breaks my heart. This has been the hardest thing for me to deal with, and I've had the chance to do, I don't know, 60 or 70 of these groups in almost half the states in the country. And wherever I go, people feel worse about America after the conversation. The election seems to be pulling people apart. Let us hope that the last 20 days, in some way, pulls people together. Back to you.